What up, ladies and gentlemen? Can I say it? Billy goats, cats, cows, mice, and little turtles. Because they all listen to the Perfect Pair podcast.
Rocky! Shut up. Oh, my God. Why would you say that?
They do.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I was out fishing the other day and a little turtle came on and said, yo, Rock.
No, he didn't. No. Rocky.
He said, yo, Rock. I listen to the podcast, dog.
Okay. And that's what he said in your mind. Okay. Whatever helps you go.
Hey, thank you guys for joining us once again, man. I'm Rock-T for Sheezy.
And I'm Krystal, Rock-T's better half.
What we talking about today, Hwaman?
Well, there's a few things I want to talk about, but one of the main things, there's two things I really want to talk about today is the Chris Rock thing.
I knew it.
Happened special, and the Ja Morant thing.
Come on now.
Like, those are two things that I kind of really want to really get into about I just got my own little personal opinions about them.
If you guys been up under a rock, Chris Rock did a Netflix special live. And
all over the world, not just in the United States.
Come on now.
All over the world got to see this.
Finally addressed the Will Smith slap. Okay? And then Ja Morant, superstar NBA player for the Memphis Grizzlies. Mm-hmm. He was out partying with some of his boys, appeared to be in the nightclub. He, on his own Instagram live page, showed a gun. And then he put it back down. So now he's being suspended from the Grizzlies until further notice. And
I must be under the rock because I just thought he was just a sweetheart.
Hey, man, he still could be a sweetheart, according to you, but he just made a poor decision. So we'll get into it, man. Right. We got the Perfect Pair podcast starting right now. All right, so we're going to start off with Chris Rock.
Yes.
I'm sure you guys seen it by now, but if not, he addressed the Will Smith slap. And I'll let you go first because I already kind of expressed some of my thoughts on the Ricky Smiley Morning Show, but you go first, then I'll piggyback on what you say.
I'm glad he finally addressed it. I think it was amazing how he did it, how he was able to address it while collecting his coins. Mm-hmm. Because, I mean, if I'm going to address this stuff, I might as well collect a check.
Absolutely.
And I liked a lot of stuff that he said in that special. I mean, I don't want to say I'm not a Jada Pinkett Smith fan, but I still am. Like, I still like her. I don't know their personal issues. I'm a fan of her work. Let me just say that.
Right.
I'm a fan of her art and her work, and that's not going to change. Just like I'm a fan of Will Smith's work, but I'm not even going to lie. I can't even watch Fresh Prince no more like I used to.
What? And this is a person that watch. She done seen every episode of Fresh Prince like 100 times.
I have, and I watch it faithfully. If it's on TV, I'm gonna watch it. Like it's like I watch Martin, like I watch Golden Girls. I like these episodes.
So you took Fresh Prince out of the rotation?
I didn't necessarily take him out the rotation. It's just that I couldn't watch him. Like I couldn't see him no more.
In the same eye.
In the same eye, because he's always been this kind of guy that had integrity and handled situations in with grace. He, even like when he was rapping and stuff, he chose not to cuss in his rap. Mm-hmm. Even though I'm like, come on, you gotta cuss, because I love cussing.
We know.
Okay. So,
we know.
Okay. So, but I respected that about him. And I'm like, oh my God, he's such a stand-up guy. And so when he did that, it made me feel as though you've been lying. Like, you really not this person. And then when you kind of start hearing his stories and all his reasonings behind why he did what he did, I feel like, to me, I'm like, he's justifying it, but it does make sense because he's thinking about his childhood traumas, how his mama used to get beat and all this stuff, and how he used to hit Chris Rock. I mean, not how he used to hit Chris Rock, my bad.
Like he used to beat him up all the time.
How his mama used to get beat up by his daddy and stuff. So, and that goes back to what I always tell people. You got to heal from your childhood trauma in order for you to be the better person as an adult, because it's going to always fester and it's going to come out one way or another, and it's going to come out at a time you don't want it to come out, when you shouldn't come out. So back to Chris Rock and saying what he needed to say to Will and speaking on Jada. He had in my opinion, every right to say what he needed to say about them and her and him. They did what they said, what they had to say.
Right.
She spoke on him.
Right.
He spoke on him, and then Will Smith still gave this old boo-boo ass apology. I don't care. I think it's a boo-boo ass apology when you want to tell it to the world. It's like somebody, his PR person, say, "Hey, you gotta send something. You gotta say something." And most PR people are going to try to make you look good. That's their job, to make sure you do stuff the right way.
Right.
And when they say he hasn't personally apologized to him, one-on-one, I feel like that's some, I don't want to say bitch move, but it's a bitch move. Like, you need to be man up. You were man enough to walk up there and try to defend your wife in your way, in your opinion. So be man enough to apologize for your wrongdoing. So for Chris to say what he had to say, I think it was cool. I also like how he said, people keep asking me why I did not hit back.
Right.
And he was like, because I have parents. I have parents that told me not to fight in front of white people. And then dropped the white. Listen. He had a lot of little racist comments that he made in that thing, but that is comedy. First of all, that is comedy. Everybody knows that. There's nothing has changed about comedy. They've always talked about their life experiences and what they've seen, what they witnessed and everything. So my thing is, why is everybody so shocked and going crazy and butthurt about what this man has said? And plus, he had every right to say what he had to say. I don't care. Yes, I'm okay with him calling Jada a bitch instead of calling her name. Because he was mad. He's frustrated. He feels like it's her fault why this shit even happened. It wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for her. That's how he felt.
Okay.
And if I feel some type of way, I'm probably going to call you out your name too. Because you no longer Jada to me. You are a bitch to me because that was some bitch shit that you did.
Ooh.
Sorry. But that's just my opinion. Ooh. And again, like I started with, I'm still a fan of Jada's work. Stop, babe. Because I can still, and for some reason, it's weird. I can still watch her stuff.
That's respectful. That's very respectful what you just said. That was a bitch move.
Yeah.
But you still a fan of her work.
I am.
So see, you that good friend. And you that good friend that's going to tell they friend about themselves.
Hell yeah.
But I'm still going to love you afterwards.
Right, because
you was wrong for that, but I still got love for you. I like that.
Right, because I don't know. We don't know. They saying it's because she slept with her son's friend.
August Alsina, right?
And had this whole entanglement.
That's a word she used.
Which you was just sleeping with your son's friend, having an extramarital affair.
Right.
Is what you were doing. And so I feel like, I don't know if that was it, but it seems like that was it. To me, you making Will sit there, he said it best. Who gets interviewed by the person that cheated on you in public? In public, she put this shit on the internet, and you could say it wasn't nationally televised, but it was nationally on the internet. This is World Wide Web, meaning worldwide got to see him get interviewed by the person that cheated on him, and pretty much called him out. And then I haven't read Will Smith's book,
right? But
somebody else I was watching said if you read his book, you would hear him say that Jada was raised with different kind of what people, when they get married, how marriages was different. It was kind of more like an open marriage. He was more of a Christian home. You with one person, this and that. And she's always kind of questioned him on that with the monogamy in their relationship.
Right. Which goes back to all the theories of them having an open relationship. Because nobody really knew. We thought because we heard stories and whatever.
But he didn't want it. It sounds like he didn't want it.
Right.
In his book, he's stating pretty much that he not with that.
Right.
But he's trying to please his wife, make her happy, whatever. And to me, that's his fault. Because he should have just put his foot down like, I'm not with that. I don't want to deal with that shit.
All I'm going to say is this. I don't remember what television show or movie when she had that sex scene with Mark Anthony. I think it's Mark Anthony, the actor.
Mm-hmm. I don't know.
No,
wait, what movie was it?
I'm going to find out. But that was deep. I get it. Acting is acting.
Right.
And, you know, when we've seen a lot of love scenes in movies and television shows that, like, man, that look real. That look real. I'm just going to put out, but that ain't got nothing to do with what we talking about.
Right, but my thing is that's their craft. They're supposed to make it look real. That's their job as actors and actresses to make stuff look real because they got to get all into it. And they say sometimes when they become these characters, they literally become, like they live them. Their mind frame goes into exactly who they are. Will said he fell in love with one of his co-stars in one of his little movies.
Yeah, I think, what's her name? Margot Robbie, the white girl?
Some white lady.
Yeah,
he fell in love with her. He fell in love with her doing their stuff.
Right.
So it's like, that's their craft. So I tell anybody, whoever married, dating an actress or actor, kudos to you, because what I'm not supposed to do is see Rock-T over here kissing and rubbing and hunching anybody on anybody's television show. And I'm not supposed to tell him go do a good job. Get over here, because you didn't do me like that last night. It's exactly what I'm going to be thinking. Shit. No, that's not, you have never looked at me in my eyes. Why you would kiss me like that? I can imagine what's going on in my mind, in my head. Like, I be ready to fight this. I be ready to fight her right then, and I'm slapping you upside your head as you coming off the scene.
But it's part of the script.
Right, and I'm fighting producers and stuff because y'all let this shit happen. Y'all knew. I forgot that this wasn't real. Like, I would not know how to handle that. So, nope, I don't want you acting, honey. Nope. I don't want you to. And I'm pretty sure you don't want me doing it either. Could you really see me kissing another man passionately and it's just acting?
Look, man, that's been something that I've had several conversations with people in my career because I've been, in this radio television business for a while. I never really had an urge to be an actor, but as far as hosting television shows and events and stuff, that's kind of what I like doing. But let's back up. Okay, I hear everything that you said.
Okay,
and you mentioned the word healing.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a very important piece to this whole situation between Chris and Will Smith. Now, Will Smith did a public apology. He should have done a public apology because he slapped him in public. He slapped him with a whole world scene, so he needed to apologize in front of the whole world. Now, he also should apologize to Chris personally. Now, who's to say that he didn't reach out to Chris and try to do this? Maybe Chris said, man, I ain't got nothing to do.
Some state that he was trying to reach out to Chris, but he wasn't trying out personally. But they were other people were trying to set it up for them.
Well, we don't know because we ain't there. But I'm
Chris, I ain't got shit to say to you.
That's probably what happened. Chris probably said, you know what, I ain't got time. I
forgot where I was for a second. You slapped the shit out of me.
You got shot.
Right.
Slap. So
Chris is his ear still ringing. He said it on the show.
Absolutely, but who's to say that he didn't try to reach out? So Chris probably just said, you know what, I ain't got nothing to say to you, bro. I lost all respect for you, and I'm a comedian. At the end of the day, it's just comedy. And everybody is so sensitive nowadays because, listen,
you can't say
Chris
shit
Rock,
without feeling like you done offend
there's two
somebody.
comedians that are genius when it comes to taking tough conversations and making them comical.
Making light of it.
Yep. Chris Rock is one of them, and Dave Chappelle is the other.
I knew he was going to say that.
Those two are geniuses when it comes to taking tough conversations that, oh, man, we shouldn't touch this. It's probably too early to go there. But they find creative ways to go there, and it's funny without being, well, some people think it's all disrespectful, but it ain't. It's just jokes. They're being, man, Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy, back in the day, man, when comedy...
That's all what they did, and they were talking about themselves and their lives, so everybody would laugh at it. They laughed at what's his name, when he talked about when he burned himself. When he lit himself on fire. Right. When
he made a joke about it.
He made a joke. Everybody was laughing. Everybody thought it was funny, and this man damn near killed himself.
Absolutely.
But when they start making light of it, and it includes other people that's in their life, now all of a sudden everybody's feelings is hurt. And I just feel like sometimes y'all just need to understand who you are as a person. And what people say does not automatically go towards you. It's not geared towards you. It's their experience. If you wasn't in that experience and you didn't do that shit, why are you bothered by it? That's like me. My thing is, if the shoe fit, then wear the motherfucker. I'm sorry. Wear it. Sorry.
Somebody been waiting to talk about this.
Right. Like, wear it.
All right, let me ask you a question.
What?
As a black woman.
Okay. Ooh.
So, you say you didn't have no problem with him cracking a joke and calling Jada a bitch.
Nope.
Now, what if he would have called you a bitch in a joking matter of something that you did?
I wouldn't have had a problem either. Let me tell you why. Because Tupac said it best, or Ice Cube said it best back in the day. He was like, when we referring to bitches and hoes in our songs, are you a bitch or are you a hoe? No, then we ain't talking about you.
Period. Ooh. Can you please... That's almost a mic drop. Hey, drop the mic.
I did.
Even though Ice Cube said it.
Okay. That's what I'm saying. I can't remember if it was Tupac or Ice Cube.
It was one of them.
One of them said it. It's like, we saying it because she was the one that went at them.
Right.
Saying like, well, I don't like how you disrespecting women, this and that. He's like, are you a bitch or are you a hoe? No, then I'm not talking about you. If you want to come at me and call me a bitch, I know I'm not a bitch. But if I know I'm a bitch, I'm like, okay, thank you. I'm a good one. But, I mean, if I'm not that, I know I'm not a hoe. If I know who I am, nothing you say about me is going to bother me to make me think like, oh, okay, well, I don't understand why I'm not that. I don't care what you think.
It's your opinion.
It's your opinion.
And at the end of the day, he's a comic.
Right. And they going to say what they want to say.
Absolutely. Now, is he telling the truth? Does he probably really mean what he feels and what he says?
And he has every right to have that opinion. Just the same way I think he too fat.
Who?
If I say that like about Ice Cube or something, like, you too fat.
That's your opinion, right.
Like, your music is horrible. Like, this is
whatever you say about someone, that's your opinion.
Yeah, it's my opinion, what I think about you.
So what about a lot of black women that are bothered and upset that he referred to her as a bitch, even though some say he had a right to do it or that's his opinion or whatever. A lot of black women.
Freedom of speech. Do y'all hear me?
Right.
That is freedom of speech. He is allowed to say what he want to say when he wants to say it.
Because didn't nobody tell Will Smith to go up there and slap him in front of everybody?
He put his hands on him, and he should have been arrested that day.
Right.
And he said, keep my name out your effing mouth. Okay. He had every right to say that, too.
Well, keep his wife's name out the mouth. And that was a joke. The whole G.I. Jane joke.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Everything was a joke.
So it goes back to, let's go back to this word healing again, because I wrote it down right here in all caps.
Okay.
Will Smith obviously maybe hadn't healed because he's admitted this a couple of times.
He said that he was still caught up in the King Richard role. He had flashback also to the protect. That's what he said in that little raggedy ass speech he gave when he got that damn award.
Will is great at when he starts talking slow. And when he starts saying, like, there's times when you go through your life and you are trying to figure out why you did something. When he starts going in that Will Smith mode, that's when it's like, okay.
You're justifying it. You were wrong.
And that's what people are saying. You're trying to justify what you did. But he admitted he was wrong, but he came back.
So it's almost like you're making you feel sorry for what he did. Like, feel sorry for him. Like, oh, okay, I understand. Because if I was there, I understand why you did what you did. No, I understand that you saying, okay, I'm sorry for what I did. I'm still dealing with issues. I ain't healed. And this is why I reacted the way I did. And I shouldn't have. He's not saying it like that. He's saying it in a way of feel sorry for me. Understand, like, if I didn't have this childhood life, if I didn't do this, I didn't go through this, and if I was able to heal, this wouldn't have never happened. So I just need help so y'all shouldn't be so mad at me. That's what I feel like he's trying to say. Instead of just, if people be like, why? Because I know everybody want to know, why would you do that? Like, what makes you think you could do that to someone? So he giving his reason, but give your reasons in a way of saying, well, this is why I did. I had flashbacks. I was thinking this, I was doing that, but it still ain't right. Like, I'm wrong. I don't feel that when he's talking, because he going to that, I was this, I was that. That shit just, to me, just feel like, okay, you trying to get me on your side, and I can't stand that. When you messed up, you messed up. Right. Like how you gave me a shitty-ass Valentine's, not to bring it up. You had to own up to that shit.
See?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bring it up, but you had to own. Did you own up to it?
I owned up to it, but.
Okay, but I'm just saying, you owned up to it. You couldn't justify it no more. When you tried to, you got in more trouble.
Look, so.
When you tried, didn't you try to? When you tried to go into that bullshit, talking about, I was just so caught up into yo.
And I finally had to just say, you know what, I messed up. And I left it alone.
And then we good.
Right.
But that's the point. He didn't do that.
But are we good? Because you still bringing the crap up.
Right.
So we obviously ain't good.
We good.
You having a Will Smith moment.
Wait, no. The reason why I'm saying.
Do I need to slap the hell out of you?
I wish you would. Shit. I wish see us two fighting on this motherfucking podcast today. What? Rock-T, you lost your damn mind. He made this podcast go left. We're supposed to be on the same page.
No, man. Because that's a good example because, listen, the Will Smith situation, the reason why it bothered me when all this first happened, because it goes back to that word integrity that you used at the beginning.
Right.
I still like Will Smith. I still want to watch his movies. I still want to support the brother.
I didn't watch that.
I just think he made a big mistake. And he just all this boiled up, whatever he's going through with his wife, and no telling whatever other personal stuff he may have going on. That might have just been one thing. And that night, at that moment, at that time, something got triggered, and he did what he did, which was wrong.
Right.
But I just don't think that should erase everything that we thought Will Smith stood for. Does that make sense?
Right. I don't think it does.
Now,
I just can't deal with him right now. I still appreciate his art and what he's done in the previous years, but I'm okay with not seeing him on the TV screen right now. I don't want to support that when you still trying to justify what you did instead of just own it. I feel like he has not owned it completely. He always want to own it, but this is why. Own it, but no, just own it. You a grown-ass man. You got all this help you've been getting. You learn how to communicate with your wife through some kind of therapy type shit. And you done been through so much stuff that to the point right now, you should have been able to compose yourself enough to not put your hands on another grown man.
Over a joke that was funny.
Over a joke that you know that's what comedians do.
Right.
Even though they say that's not right, because that's another thing they say. You cannot be laughing at other people's expenses. That's not right. They saying that now. They doing all that, not hurting people's feelings. You saw what they tried to do to Dave Chappelle when they start talking about the LGBTQ community.
Man.
So it's just like everybody's taking it hard. But I've talked to a lot of LGBTQ community, and they say that they're okay with it. Some people are just really too sensitive in their community.
That's period. I mean,
And I think that's in every situation, in every community, every race, everybody. There's just some of us that's just way too sensitive, and especially us black people, because we always want to point the finger at everybody else, but we don't want to look at our own
man,
self.
society is sensitive, man. That's why can't nothing be said. Can't nothing. I mean, you can't even enjoy yourself. You can't go to a comedy show and enjoy yourself because I can't believe he said that about us. I can't believe he said it about this group of people. I'm like, come on, man. You remember the old school? Black families do this.
Right.
White families do this.
Right, and we would laugh about it.
And we laugh about it. Like,
now you can't even post that no more. You mess around.
You can't even do. Come on, man. You're taking away from the craft of these comedians. And Chris Rock is one of the greatest at this craft. He's one of the greatest at just going the extra mile.
Right.
And it's funny. It's funny, man.
It was funny.
So I ain't got no problem with anything that Chris Rock said. He took a whole year to finally say what he wanted to say.
And he said he had nothing to do with when they were going to do the live Netflix deal. They said that was all Netflix. But that was smart on Netflix to do it a week before the Oscars.
Absolutely.
I think so. And I think it was smart for him to wait to do it on his time. Chris Rock responded in his time.
All right, so let's go to Ja Morant.
Oh.
Ja Morant, superstar NBA player, Memphis Grizz. He's been suspended until further notice because he was...
Oh, he has?
Yeah. At first, it was 2 games, but then they said until further notice.
I said 2 games.
So he was hanging out with his boys at what appeared to be a nightclub, and in my opinion, looked like he was a little tipsy. And I say that for a reason, so hang in there with me as I describe the situation. Okay. He's on his own Instagram Live. Problem number 1. You on Instagram. This ain't nobody else recording him as he's having a good time and party. He's on his own Instagram Live. He picked up his phone and said, oh, let me go to Instagram. Boom, let's go live. Yeah, I'm out here, blah, 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 blah. And then he decides to put the gun up. And then he put it back down on his own Instagram. So that lets me know, okay, you had to be tipsy. Because ain't nobody in their right mind is going to think, oh, I'm Ja Morant. Now, he is 23 years old. He's still young. He's still obviously doing immature things. But I'm like, come on, brother. So now the police are investigating the situation even more because in the state, open carry is legal.
Right.
But what's illegal is open carry while you're intoxicated. So we don't know if he was intoxicated in the video. So they're investigating to find out, was he drinking at that time?
So how would they know if he's intoxicated? If he had a sip of a drink, he could say, "Yeah, I had a drink, but I wasn't drunk."
They got ways to try to figure it out. Maybe they asked everybody that was up in there and saying, "Hey, was he drinking? Did you see him or whatever?" I don't know, but they're investigating that piece. So now let's back up. Ja Morant has a circle of people that he hangs with. Most superstars got an entourage.
Right.
Ja Morant's daddy, T. Morant. Mad respect, T. He think he is homie.
Oh. So
like,
it's not
Ja Morant's dad really think he's Ja's homie.
Okay.
Like, they friends. Not to say that you can't be friends, because we got great relationships with our kids.
Right.
But you got to be his daddy first.
Right.
You got to be his dad first. Like,
right.
And if you're not his daddy first, then that's a problem.
Yeah.
Now, he's a grown man. Ja Morant's 23. He's young, but he's still a grown man. He know right from wrong. He know good from bad. He know how to say yes. He knows that the spotlight is on him everywhere he goes, even when he think it's not. Yeah. The NBA knows everything that these players are doing.
Yep.
Everything. They know where you are. They know who your friends are. They know who you hanging with. They know everything. And first of all, for you to even have a gun in your possession, now the person's going to say, well, with these open gun laws, I got to protect myself. You're at a freaking party.
And don't he have bouncers and other people to handle that for him?
Which goes back to the circle of people that you hanging with. Where was his crew saying, hey, Ja, let me hold that, bro. Hey, Ja, you probably want to go put that away. Hey, Ja, maybe you shouldn't even have this.
Right.
Hey, Ja, let us carry and you just chill or whatever. But you got to make a decision soon. Your circle is everything. You are your circle of influence.
Dumb to be putting I don't care if you wasn't drinking. If you wasn't drinking and you was wherever you are, you're having a gun. What's the point in showing that you're carrying a gun? To show that you're cool? Like, that's what it is. I just want to understand, like, what's the point?
It's called street cred.
I'm about to say, so are you 16?
And he probably, and see, here's the deal with Ja Morant. Now, I don't know his whole story, but I don't think he grew up in the hood.
Oh, them be the worst ones because they want to be hood so
the ones
bad.
that ain't about that. You know nothing about that life. Now, I don't know his whole life, but I don't think, just from what I've researched so far, that he grew up about that life. And so many people want that street cred so they can feel like, oh, I'm hardcore now.
Y'all see what? And I ain't trying to be funny. Look what happened to Takeoff.
Look what happened to Young Dolph.
Yeah,
who's from Memphis.
And Takeoff out there rolling dice. He wasn't even the one in the argument. He wasn't even in the argument, but he down there in the hood where these people carry guns and doing something. He minding his business, watching Quavo and them go at it and getting upset about this money that they got. Y'all talking about $100,000 on the line on the dice game, and y'all got the nerve to be in these situations thinking y'all on this hood stuff. And look what happened to him. Like, that is like y'all are not learning y'all's lesson.
Which goes back to what Ja Morant. He came out and he apologized. And he says, I'm going to take this time off and I'm going to do whatever I can to see if I can heal, learn better methods of dealing with my stress and my well-being. So if that's his way of releasing stress.
Man, that was his PR person that told him to tell him that. And now they telling him, but you better figure something else out because this ain't working.
Come on, man.
You're about to lose everything and you're only 23 years old and your career is just beginning.
And about a week earlier, allegedly, he got into a fight with a 17-year-old kid during a pickup basketball game at his house. And I guess the fight led to him showing a gun to the kid. Like,
they said he was hitting the kid in the head too.
Yeah, he threw some. He admitted to throwing some blows because the kid threw the ball at him, hit him in the face. So he retaliated and punched him a couple times, and then allegedly showed him his strap, his gun.
Get out of here!
Like, I'm like, bro.
Why are you out there playing with these kids anyway? Like, why? If it's getting that serious, because obviously before the boy hit him in the face with the ball,
they probably was talking trash.
It was getting serious and getting heated, and you laughing at the young boy, and the boy got mad, whatever, and you did, like, what is the point?
Come on, man.
Of being out there, this is where I hate when you say, but you got to rise above your raisins.
Absolutely. You're Ja freaking Morant now. You ain't that same kid no more.
Let's just say he was raised that way or that's how he was brought up. You got to rise above your raising. You got to do better. You got to want better and do better for yourself. Like, you can't keep doing all this stuff. Like, once I got out of the hood, I'm saying I'm staying up out there. I'm not trying to go back. I don't want to go back there and hang with everybody and do that and stay there. Because what is that going to do for me? Look at Takeoff. That's another example. I keep saying they want to go back to the hood. They want to give because they don't want the hood to feel like they done sold out. They want to feel like they still got the street cred and all that stuff. And listen, these fools in these streets with these guns are not mentally stable. They could care less of who you are because they want to take you down. And some of them are making just the amount of money you making anyway.
And some want to take you down just because they gonna show you,
who boss?
He think he all that because of this and that. Man, please. Some people take you down. They ain't even never met you.
Right. Like, it's just unnecessary. Like, why would you want to go back to that? I don't want no parts of them people. I just want them to know I ain't got no problems. We cool. I'm gonna stay up out of here.
So here's my words to Ja Morant. If Ja Morant
sit your ass down somewhere.
Is pretty much.
That's my word.
Man, listen, man, stay out them doggone clubs. Ain't nothing waiting for you in the club. I don't give a damn. If your crew want to go out and hang out, you let them go out and hang out. You stay your butt in the house. You stay your butt around people that really care about your well-being. And if you want to go take a trip to get away, okay, go to somebody's island somewhere. You can afford it now. You got blessed with crazy amount. And he's about to get ready to have a $200+ million contract next year. So
is he?
Oh, absolutely.
Will he?
He's about to be the face of the NBA.
How do you know? After this, he's still gonna be there?
Oh, he's the top 5 player in the NBA. Ja Morant is the business.
Well, he better put that gun down, sit down somewhere so he can collect them checks. Because the way you going, you ain't gonna be able to collect them checks.
So it ain't. And
then you keep showing this gun. You don't hit this little kid, this 17-year-old in the face. I get it. He probably did something first. Now you showing him this gun. Do you not know that this person might got family? They might got some hood family that's gonna come for you. Come after you. Like, it's a never-ending cycle. So why put yourself in those situations? You better than that.
It ain't worth it, Ja. It ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. Anybody out there that's learn from this situation, man.
I'm not going in them situations no more. It's not worth it.
There it is, man. So that's we're gonna wrap up.
Yeah, I'm stressed out. I'm tired. I'm frustrated.
You getting worked up over here.
I am, because this is a whole bunch of stupid shit. It's unnecessary.
It is stupid.
It's real stupid
Dumb
and unnecessary.
decisions.
It's dumb decisions, and then you got to learn to live with it. And then you're trying to come up with your PR person is helping you come up with ways to apologize and
And
stuff.
stop feeling that you above the law just because you a celebrity,
Oh, my
just
gosh.
because you a public figure,
That
just
part.
because you stop feeling.
all you players, all you athletes, all you actors, actresses, everybody that got all this money that feel like, listen, what's his name? Murdoch got life for killing his wife and his son. His how Alex Murdoch. You know who I'm talking about?
Who?
Alex Murdoch. You don't know who that is? So in South Carolina, they were like known for hundreds of years to like attorneys, judges. Like they were big time, pretty much above the law.
Okay.
So they was always doing. He was doing so much messed up, corruptive stuff in his family. His son, their family is connected to like 3 or 4 different murders.
Okay.
And one of his son ended up driving a boat drunk, and he was only 19 years old, ended up killing a little girl. He crashed the boat. One girl ended up dead. So he was getting ready to go to court for that. He was getting indicted. Nobody thought he would be indicted because their family doesn't ever get indicted.
Right.
So he was being indicted into to get ready to go to court in 2 years later.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden, his wife and that son ended up dead on their property.
Man.
And he don't know how that got happened. But anyway, long story short, they found out it was him. He set that up. He did
The whole
that.
time.
The whole time. Killed his son and his daughter. He kept saying he was innocent. You should have seen what the judge had to say about him. But the point I'm making is, y'all keep thinking y'all above the law. The shit gonna catch up with y'all one day.
Say what you want to say about LeBron James, but how many times have you seen him his name caught up in some mess like this?
Right. I ain't never.
Think about it. I'll give you some time.
Okay.
It's skim 30 right now.
Okay. I don't know. But we don't know. The thing is, you keep your ass up out of that shit. That's what I think. Like, quit thinking you're above the law. Quit thinking you could take weed because you got away with it the first time. Quit thinking you can do all this stuff. Like, when y'all start breaking these laws and then you start getting these harsh-ass punishments, you want to be looking like, well, why did I get that? Such and such didn't get that. But you still broke the law, dummy. Stop breaking these damn laws.
You're right.
Stop feeling like you're above the law. That's just how I feel. Babe, I know. Okay, it's already past time. I don't know what LeBron done did. I ain't never said LeBron did anything anyway.
Exactly. Because
Okay.
that's the point. And he may have, but, whatever. So it is what it is, man. Perfect Pair Podcast coming to a close right now. Hey, man, subscribe, download, tell a friend to tell a friend. We love you guys. Keep the messages coming. Keep the DMs coming. All that stuff. Follow us on social media at Perfect Pair Podcast. The YouTube channel is off the chain as well, okay?
Yep.
Doses!
Bye.
So pretty much, ladies and gentlemen, billy goats and girls and bats and everything else.
Why do you do that? Just say ladies and gentlemen, or just say hi.
We are here to tell you guys where to subscribe.
Why are you talking like that? You don't even talk like that. Talk
I
like
know,
yourself.
because I'm waiting for you. Okay.
Subscribe. Please listen. You will not be sorry.
Did you just fart?
No, that's your breath.
Oh, comeback time.
Bye.